Dominic Romer, and I have got Sam Kobe Hartman Kensler with me to lend his expertise.
Yes, hello, Dom. How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
Let's get warmed up here.
Trying to reiterate those boxing matches we had. Another story for another time. Coming up, though, we've got a big story for you guys. It's the David versus Goliath one. Phoenix One are taking on Immortals. But it turns out David has already slain one giant, and he's loading his sling up once again.
Right. I feel like TSM was Goliath, and Immortals is another slightly smaller giant here. But it is going to be, again, another really, really difficult task for Phoenix One. It's been exciting to watch these guys recently, though. I mean, they had a remarkable recovery in the second half of the split. Currently, they are 5-3 in the second half. You know, if we chop off the early bunch of losses that they had, then everything will be looking great for them. But it isn't quite as impressive as Immortals' 7-1 record in the second half of the split. Obviously, Immortals have only lost to TSM, and there is still a large gulf between these two teams. So it's a very uphill battle for Phoenix One. But the mindset of Phoenix One, they all are in high spirits, right? Because they are having this upswing in the second half of the split. And they all have to, as well, keep their eyes on taking down some of the top teams. You know, you'd love to add another win here against one of the top teams. Add Immortals into the trophy case there next to TSM, basically.
Now, Immortals, though, they're already locked into second place seed in the postseason. And this match for them is all about finishing strong. This is their last game before playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to say, oh, Immortals, they lost to TSM again. Maybe they're tilted now. Everybody's very quick to jump on that. But these guys are all veterans of the scene. And they're not ones to really stay down after something like that. So I think that they will be able to refocus, and, try and get that strong end to the split that you talk about, because they still are going to be in the top half of the playoffs. There's nothing that can knock them down, and they're going to continue on with the same style that we've seen them for the entire summer split so far.
And just before this, we actually saw them in a nice big old huddle, and they were getting ready for this game. So Immortals, they're bringing that famous preparation to bear. Now, after a string of explosive performances on the LCS stage, Phoenix One's jungler Nori credits it all to playing with great confidence.
I think the first week I played, I was very disappointed in myself. I felt like I played scared and I didn't play the way I should play, and I wasn't playing confidently. And that first week, I took a lot of time to think about what I should be doing and what I did wrong. And after that week, I just felt like I played confident. I played myself, and that represented the best results we had. So I just kept trying to play that style to where it's I'm just confident. I don't have to worry about who I'm playing against. I just do my best.
My favorite example of that is when they go into the game, it's just first pick me Rengar right now after they had just lost game number 1, and they proceeds to smash with it.
You just got to sometimes just turn off nameplates and just play your game.
That's like the jungler's dream. Most junglers just look up to these full damage assassin junglers because they're not, exceedingly viable. However, it's so fun when you get to do it and you actually get to carry from the jungle. And he's done it multiple times. Hecarim as well.
Yeah, we'll see if he does it again today. But we're ready to take a look at the starting lineups. Coming up first, it is Phoenix One. In the top, once again, Brandini. In the jungle, Inori. In the mid lane, Pyrian. AD carry, Mash. Support, Gate. And once again, their coach, Von Quiche.
And they will be facing Immortals today. Up top is Huni in the jungle, Reignover, mid, Pobelter, AD carry, Wild Turtle, support Adrian, and Coach Dylan on stage with them. Now, as we do head into the champion select, yes, there's a lot of focus on Inori. He's, cool jungler, added late in the split, kind of timed with their resurgence. But another big part of Phoenix One's recent wins have been the Malzahar in the mid lane. Pyrian's been a really big part of that as well.
Pyrian has been going off with these Malzahar and Cassiopeia picks and doing just such a great job with his team. And the synergy that we're seeing out of these two is actually kind of frightening.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll give Pobelter and Reignover a run for their money. We'll see.
Well, the challenge is set. The bar has been laid out, and it's time to see if Phoenix One will rise. As we get into picks and bans for game number 1, Rumble and Nori getting hype, as you can see in his chair. But that Pobelter banned away. Talia banned away.
Yep, Pobelter, he's out of here. Who they got for their substitute mid laner? Bring him on. But honestly, the first ban there, the Rumble, is something that so many teams ban against Huni, whether they're blue side or red side. It's just he was one of the first ones to jump right back on to the Rumble pick, with the Proto Belt. and plays it so aggressively. The other two, obviously, are the mid laners. And there's the Malzahar ban that we talked about as well for Phoenix 1, so that's off the table. We shall see. Maybe they do go with that Cassiopeia. Definitely been a huge champion recently, pretty much across the world, actually, just because of the reliable backline damage and counter engage.
Yeah, but with Sivir open and so many other power picks, it seems like Phoenix 1 decided to commit to Karma.
And Karma has been extremely big in North America. However, Sivir is just pretty much the queen of AD carries right now, and it is fairly risky to give that over to Immortals. They have the option of first rounding it here. I don't see any reason not to go with it. It might be something like that plus the Rek'Sai, as all the junglers have been left up, and that's been Reignover's favorite. But Inori has definitely been willing to step outside of the normal jungle breakdown. But there you go. Those are the two obvious picks.
That's Sivir and Rek'Sai for Wild Turtle and Reignover. And of course, that Rek'Sai does rather well into Hecarim.
Little bit of twist in the flavor there. Inori did have that legendary game on Hecarim. Plus, he had multiple, Baron steals, Elder Dragon steals. Pretty much a highlight reel on Hecarim. But I don't think that he'll be unhappy to play Rek'Sai. Any jungler right now. It's a very easy champion to pick up, a very easy champion to play, and also extremely powerful. So, see what they decide to go with, because I mean, both teams do have some a bit of extra speed for the team, and that is also going to, as everyone likes to point out, help out Hecarim because he converts speed into damage.
Yeah, the big thing that I like when looking at Phoenix 1 right now is the fact that as we go down these player cams, everyone on the team is smiling. This is such a positive environment for these guys, and you can tell it's really having an amazing effect. They started 0-9.
See, it's that's the good part about, making a bunch of mistakes and losing a bunch of games early on. When you start winning, you feel great because you feel like, oh wow, we don't really we haven't won before, and we've been depressed for so long. This is great. Good things are happening. We can't gloss over this, though. Yeah, Kalista making a return as Mash decides to pick her up, possibly with the Trundle support, possibly Flex here. Karma very well could be moved down there as well, because Brandini's been the Trundle player for the team recently. For better or for worse, he's on that pick all day, every day.
Yeah, he had to play it against Seraph, I think, all 3 games yesterday, And by the end of Game 3, he was actually showing, hey, I know how to play this matchup, and I can do rather well if I manage to get ahead. But pressure is on. We'll see if he can do it once again. Huni, very talented top laner. Sona, again, locked in for Adrian. She's been looking rather strong, but Phoenix looking for their final 2 picks. Yeah,
and Lissandra as well making a resurgence. I'm very excited about this champion select, actually, because we get some new flavor, some mix-up in the meta that we've been seeing teams fall into in the last couple of weeks in North America. Now there's extra hard engage. When you already see a Sivir Hecarim, you think, okay, this team's looking to dive. Maybe they'll have a dive buddy for Hecarim, Shen, or something like that. But Lissandra's going to get right in there. Hard lockdown.
Oh, no.
Hey, we thought it was just the Kalista. Just getting started here. Mordekaiser.
Oh, my
Please tell me that was not a misclick. It looks like they're just going as planned.
They're holding on to it. The coach and ref aren't turning their heads or anything. Big
classic combo here. Mordekaiser with Tarek. Boop, boop. Get the stun.
Oh, my
The dragons as well. Honestly, though, let's take a look at this strategy that P1 are going for. Because at first we thought, okay, it's just an interesting wrinkle. Yeah, they want to play Kalista. But Kalista provides a lot of neutral objective control. Great at securing dragons and barons alike. Mordekaiser puts more benefit on getting dragons. And the bottom lane here, which is going to be the Tarek and the Kalista, as all the flex picks have been filtered out to top lane Trundle and mid Karma, is going to provide a decent amount of control down there as well. Wait a second, never mind. Trundle might be jungle. Mordekaiser might be jungle.
That's a lot of
flex. It's still flexible. I mean, they can still switch it around. I say that it's top lane Trundle and mid lane Karma, but it's still movable. Nori, I have to say, though, definitely my favorite player in the LCS right now. All LCS.
Breaking out the Rengar, breaking out the carry Hecarim, and now he's going to do it again with Mordekaiser. So this is the first Mordekaiser in the LCS this split.
It is. Interesting little fact right now, in Platinum and above, in the previous patch, Mordekaiser was the highest win rate jungler.
Yeah. In 614.
With a very, which is the patch that we're playing on in LCS, but with a very, very small play rate. So those types of numbers get kind of wonky when you have really small play rate champions like that because of the sample size. But if I do my research here really quick, the recommended build has been the Rylai's into the Zerat portal. So let's get ready to rumble.
Just get dragons in there. Oh, yeah, this is going to be great. But we want to know what you think. Do you think Phoenix One has it in them to take down Immortals? Let us know on Twitter. Post with hashtag P1Win or hashtag IMTWin as we load onto the Rift. Can Inori do it again, or will Immortals shut him down? Oh my God, you gotta give a lot of credit to Phoenix One. This is awesome.
Yes, you definitely do. Credit for awesomeness so far in Champion Select due to Phoenix One. We'll see. Yeah, Runic Echoes into Lucidity Boots Rylai's have been the go-to. Let's see what he can get done with it.
This is so cool.
I mean,
I just want to watch what they do with this.
Yeah, it's not a surprising champion. I mean, it's surprising that he gets picked, but he doesn't pull off surprise plays in the game. So it should be fairly predictable as he just tries to grind out his jungle path. I mean, everybody always likes to play weird champions in, ranked play or solo queue or normal game. Whoa, they're actually going to go for a bush.
Adrian, no! Adrian, why? 1 bonk,
Derek,
2 bonk, 3 bonk, 4! First blood, Phoenix One.
Oh my God, they didn't give it to Mordekaiser, but still. Holy moly, he's off to the races already. Phoenix One with the genius draft here to guarantee first blood, Dom.
All according to plan.
Yeah, they knew it. They're like, we'll pick Mordekaiser. Adrian will just face check our bush when we've got the Terra Callista ready. Perfect for chasing down anyone. And that is the way you want to start the game when you've got a jungle Mordekaiser on your team.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of ranked play, that's just one of the times where you're like, oh my God, my team is trolling. Everybody's picking these random champions, but you're like, whatever, I'm not dodging. We'll play it out anyway. And then things start to go your way. Like, oh, sweet, we're winning. Nice.
This is the
we
one
got first blood.
the one Mordekaiser one trick that you run into in ranked. Oh boy, this is stellar. I love what's going on here. Alrighty, so 500 gold advantage. Looks like we're not going to be seeing lane swaps as Mash and Gate start off with that Krug camp on the bottom, and Inori gets a bit of a leash here.
I love it. Since they they can't make it into playoffs and stuff. Might as well try something and get famous. He's the Mordekaiser jungler now.
I mean, they've definitely got some street cred.
Oh, yeah.
Breaking out the Rengar and the Mordekaiser. And this has to be at least 2 games in this set. The set is young. Mash is going really hard. That's a very early exhaust.
Yeah, they got first blood, so they had extra experience, even though the experience you get for early kills was greatly reduced. So it wasn't that big of a difference. Did get level 2 first, trying to push down here on them and keep control of the minion wave. That's so important when you're playing against Sivir. It's always about the control of the minion wave. The other thing is that Callista, when she was in the meta, was picked into Sivir very often because it's really hard to spell shield Callista damage, and Callista's such a good lane bully versus the Sivir. It's just that she's been out of the meta for so long, kind of fell out of your thought process, right, in Champion Select. But here we go. Mash is trying to make the old lane counter work out. Hard versus Asona, though, in the current state because there's a lot of healing. Here we go with some jungle action,
I don't think Inori saw him. Rainover getting a sneak gank on that bottom lane. That's 4 summoners. He ghosts. There goes Mash. He sees it now. Oh, he gets pulled back, holding onto the flash. There he goes. Gate in the back. Not actually burning it just yet. And Phoenix One walk away.
Yeah, they did have to burn both summoners off the AD carry.
Yeah, he did heal.
And Mordekaiser might slip in here for some lane minions. Nope. The duo's going to stay, and Adrian got flash!
Not again! Oh, he's got the Rend building up. That's one more bonk to heal. Throw, no!
The flash bonk from Inori.
It was only the 2 bonk, not the 3. Oh, boy.
So red buff on him is like, yeah, let's go.
And your Adrian was like, I don't want any part of this.
If it was a jungler with any sort of CC, then yeah, they probably could have picked up that kill too. But Mordekaiser, you just wait till he gets level 6, though. You just wait until they get dragon control, and you see the dragon ghost coming through.
As soon as he gets Rylai's, he'll have all the crowd control he needs.
Yeah, because, I mean, we're joking about this pick a lot, but there are actual strategies to talk about with Mordekaiser. Most of them do revolve around, the dragon, but they're also a lot about, mid-lane power or mid-game power spikes, which is where Kalista shines. The 1 and 2 items for Kalista are huge. Karma as a mid laner also spikes very early. And Trundle can become viable super early on as well. Depends on what build the Trundle does want to go with. If Brandini wants to go split push again, or if he actually does want to try and team fight. I would suggest that he does go the split push to try and pull people away from the dragon so that the rest of P1 can take that dragon and really start to use the Mordekaiser snowball, get the ghost, and start knocking down turrets.
Yeah, and that is the Infernal Drake first, so very high priority for both of these teams to try to secure that early on. As it is, though, we're seeing the junglers just clear out, go for some of those early backs. Jungle potion picked up now for Reignover. He's going to be healing up and sustaining as much as possible. Gabe stops the recall. Unfortunately, that's not a projectile, so it goes through units.
That was a really good delay, though. I mean, every time you can delay a recall like that, if you have control of the minion wave as well, it actually makes them decide to stay in the lane, and the fearsome, flashless Mordekaiser gets another kill!
Gosh! Nori gets one. Teleport. He's got the pillar, but no, it is going to be canceled. There's a ghost. They're turning it back around. Victor trying to catch up. Snare. Uni actually completed his mash. He's caught out on the side by Pobelter. And there's Brandini now joining in. The Phoenix One trying to turn it around. They get one. Reignover has got to run. He gets out of the pillar. And, the slow, but will escape with his life.
Period actually get us some alone time with Pobelter.
Oh my gosh, we flashed over. Period knows no limits.
Well, Reignover's going to chase him off, and that might be the Drake we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
And Nori's level 6 now.
Prepare for the ghost. See what they can get with it, because you immediately want to try and get some turret gold once you get this ghost. The pushing power is insane. It just takes so long to kill the actual dragon because it has so much health that you can use it to tank the turret and damage it the whole time. Let's... Oh, yeah, people are getting amped up, baby. We're seeing that. Look at this Mordekaiser gang. Oh, one auto. One auto. All right. And then finished it off there with the W.
There's the late teleport from Brandini. Seraph did teleport in from the bottom. We let Phoenix One get split up. But the Mordekaiser.
Yeah, I mean, this was the teleport from Brandini. Did get the bite on Mash before, or on Sivir before the flash went off, so that the attack will continue unless you flash into Fog of War. Any sort of those melee things will complete, even if the person flashes away.
So 7 minutes in, and Phoenix One are leading over Immortals by about 1,200 gold. They've already secured the first Infernal Drake, and now they've swapped their duo to the top lane, and the crowd is with Phoenix One.
The Giant Killers, Phoenix One. I gotta say, I was pretty slow this morning. Took a long time to get up, trying to get ready. I thought it was gonna be a rough day, but I'm amped up now. This is exciting. Super fun game.
Yep.
We'll see what they can actually do, because I'm very disappointed in the dragon use. We were talking up the dragon use for Mordekaiser for so long. He recalls and he does like 3 jungle camps with it.
That's okay. Dragon's coming up in another few minutes, so we'll see if he can take advantage of that. Phoenix One now rotate towards the mid lane. They were spotted out by a ward, though.
Yeah, D2 is way better than D1 anyway. We'll see what they can do with D2, because that's when Mash is going to start completing an item. They'll have a little bit more pressure in all of their laning champions as well. Talked about the mid-game power spikes for this team. That's where they're really going to try and push it. They don't want to let the late-game Sivir come to fruition.
Oh, no.
They're trying to end it before that.
Timer is ticking for Phoenix One, but they've already got TSM in their trophy case. Can they add Immortals to it as well? They've definitely got the surprise factor in this game. But again, this is a best of 3. If they win this one, they'll still have to take another. And the pressure is on. However, for the time being, they are content to keep these lanes nice and safe, knowing that there's no Drake for a while with the duo top. Just gives them some pressure on the Rift Herald. Brandini is nice and safe down in that bottom tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to take a beating as Trundle in that matchup as far as CS goes. Plus, he did the teleport to leave, so Huni got some extra ones there. Now he's made it to that cowl, though. I mean, the cowl is so important versus any melee top laner. Or, I mean, any ranged AP top laner for the melee top laners, because you really need that extra health regen in the magic resist to try and just sustain in lane. Having swapped down there, Huni's going for roams as well on the Sandra. But man, Mash and Gate really retaining control of that lane versus the Sivir Sona.
Yeah, they've actually got a CS lead right now, and we'll see if Wild Turtle will be able to catch up as he clears it out. Only down about 5, so it's 1 minion wave.
Yep.
Spell shield early. Oh,
that's the difficulties of the Sivir and Kalista matchup. You kind of have to predict when the Rend is coming out. All right, here's the difficulties of Mordekaiser jungle. You got to walk through wards. This means you won't get the kill, but you will get the objective.
Oh yeah, that top tier 1 turret is not long for this world. Pobelter's on his way up there. He's got Ghost, and there's no ward in that bush as they thought to try to rush through. Well, they will back away.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't. They just cleared that out in the tri-bush. Pink ward down there, 4 Immortals now in the tri-bush. And Reignover and Pobelter will return to their previous duties, farming up, as Honora was able to get a decent amount of damage on that turret with his little sojourn up to the top side.
So far, he's keeping pace with Reignover, only down about 8 to 10 jungle camps. But for the time being, Reignover is just relegated to running around, trying to keep pace of this Mordekaiser. Get to the lane before Mordekaiser does.
Yeah, I mean, he's just trying to farm up till that Trinity Force.
Oh, yeah.
When you really start to feel the power on Hecarim. Is over a ward, though, that Honora just dropped on his last little route through mid, and finds it with his Raptor proc here.
Mm-hmm. Drake now going to spawn in the next minute and a half. You can see Honori is trying to cheat down to this side. Seraph just completed a recall. If he can... Oh, no, he's just going to try to shove the turret.
Yeah, I mean, I like Honora is playing this Mordekaiser. He just farms his whole jungle out and then goes to the lane for a little while to get a couple hits on the turret. While he has no camps to farm, and then, you know, rinse and repeat back to the other side, because the ganks, as we said, they're not all that spectacular as far as crowd control you can bring. You're just a melee, slow melee champion at that, walking up, unless the enemy team is forced to fight you with something like the Taric and Kalista lane, where there's a bunch of CC in the lane there for you, then he's just providing a little bit of extra DPS. Starting to farm up, though. We'll see that build come out. He got 2 of the last hits, so a decent amount of early gold. Another swap here from P1 as they move their duo down bottom, trying to keep Huni walking around and trading lanes versus Brandini. Also, P1, since their duo lane has control of the wave versus the Sivir and Sona, they've been pushing it up first, you know, try and gain a little bit of tempo each time they swap the lane. Whoever's answering always loses out on a little bit of time with those minions.
And Nori chasing Reignover back. You can see that Ocean Drake has spawned, and there are 4 members of Phoenix 1 there. Brandini, as you said, with the tempo advantage, pressuring the turret. Teleport available for both.
The much anticipated release of D2 coming out. Who's gonna get the steal here? Oh, Reignover doesn't have smite. He can't steal it. No smite.
Yeah, meanwhile, that's the pull. Will he be able to get the stun follow-up? There's a huge crescendo. There's the Drake. Cosmic Radiance teleport is canceled, in fact. Brandini did join in that fight, so Seraph will try to answer back.
Yeah, I mean, Taric's... Whoa, they actually have Wild Turtle cut off here.
Ooh, that's not a good place for a Sivir to be. She flashes, still with her heal. The Drake is taking the turret, though. It's doing a lot of damage, and Wild Turtle goes down. Reignover in the back finds Period, but he also falls, and Phoenix 1 take 2 kills.
And look at that dragon take the turret. That's what we're talking about. He can just stay there as long as he wants. They go behind Huni with no teleport here. I think he just used it previously to get back to lane because he's left up there all by himself. Brandini was able to come down, cut off Wild Turtle, and secure that kill, as it was not just the dragon they're going to take, but turret trade after. They also were able to get 2 kills to their names, and Phoenix 1 are actually controlling the early game versus Immortals.
Oh my goodness. If you could have heard yourself in week 1, would you have believed?
No, of course not. I mean, maybe after the game where they were able to beat TSM and people are like, haha, okay, yeah, maybe they can take Immortals also. Yes, haha, they can.
Oh boy. All right, so Huni's able to trade back though, take that top tier 1. It's still 2-1 in favor of turrets, but here's that again.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't paying attention to Wild Turtle during the Dragon because I was looking at P1 as they were moving up towards the blue buff, as you know, probably most other people were as well. And Immortals were disengaging there, rightfully so, because the Terra Cult came down, and there's no way that P1 can force that engage. But somehow Turtle wandered off down into the little corner there, and Brandini was able to make the cutoff. So,
you know, if I had to guess, I think he wanted to try to clear the minion wave so they couldn't collapse and take the turret. But Mordekaiser has a dragon.
I guess, yeah, and it, well. Bamboozled!
Yeah,
Bamboozled here!
Absolutely flabbergasted by what's going on in this. 15 minutes in, and as you said, Phoenix One are controlling the early game against Immortals. 3,000 gold, and trying to speed things up.
I love it. I mean, you got to shake things up and go with the unexpected versus these teams. That's what people always complain about. Whenever we have the interviews with people like Doublelift after they lose to one of the bottom teams, which happens very often for them, actually. There's always this surprise loss to one of the bottom teams. He's always like, oh my god, I never expect them to do that because it's so ridiculous, right? They're catching them off guard with so many different pieces here. Mash me with the Callista lane, the very old lane into Sivir working out, getting control with the duo, plus the now they're going to get dove, and Reignover is on the way. He ghosted, so he's going to continue with that, but Pobelter.
Yeah, they're trying to get onto Pobelter in the mid lane. Pyrion is locked down, and Inori can't get in. The Cosmic Radiance wears off. Stun is countered by stun, and Mash gets pulled to safety.
They escaped, but Pyrion went down in the mid lane, and they didn't finish off Pobelter. No, the damage over time's not that big. Yeah. You haven't seen that in a while, have you? What does that little ghost thing do? Maybe it explodes at the end. No. Yeah, the damage over time's not that big with it. And anyways, really what matters is the objectives afterwards. If we regain focus on this game. Immortals are trying to retake control. They focus on the bottom lane, go with the gank, even though it was unsuccessful, still get the turret down there and defended mid, plus got the counter kill on the P1 focus.
Oh man, the young Mordekaiser gank. Walk through the minions and head on out. Hashtag P1 win. 17 minutes in, and Phoenix One are trying to control this game. Pressuring quite a bit.
That's definitely how you get fan support. Pick Mordekaiser, bring Callista back in there, take him into the jungle. I mean, he's going to be able to finish Rylai's, which I assume is going to be the next item, you know. You need some sort of crowd control to force these peons to fight you.
Stop running, let me kill you.
Best skin, by the way, the King Mordekaiser there. All right, let's see if Phoenix One can actually close in and try and pressure mid, because they had 4 people around it. Here's what happened in the early stages, though, is the 2 solo laners, double AP there from Immortals, bursting them down. There's the bottom action that we saw as well, as they were able to escape.
Alrighty, so we're continuing to watch Phoenix One pressure forward and try to invade those jungle camps. Inori is so close to finishing off that Rylai's. He's got all the core components, and he's still, even in CS, while being 2-0-4, he's been involved in all of his team's kills, and so has Gate.
I have to say, the first couple of Mordekaiser ganks were hilarious as well. Not really the enabler for those, but definitely a participant. Here we go, though. Fight over pink wards.
Inori's going in. Oh, man.
Inori's going out.
All right, that Ocean Drake is up in 30 seconds. That's why we see this skirmishing around the mid lane. The Mace of Spades. Inori doing what he can. Or no, that's clubs. I never understood why it wasn't the Mace of Spades.
I mean, that's what his Q is called. The Mace of Spades.
Oh, so we can't have a skin named after his ability, maybe?
That's too confusing, Dom.
Okay, Ocean Drake is up. And Immortals are there.
I don't know. D3 on release was pretty terrible.
All right, teleport from Huni. No answer yet from Brandini. They're already trying to burn it down. There goes some damage with the Chaos Storm. Seraph goes right onto a Nori. He's locked down and separated from the team without a Nori. That's the Drake secured. And Cosmic Radiance, no, doesn't proc in time. Immortals continue to chase.
Brandini is still coming? Oh, he is still coming.
He's trying to do some work, though. Gets the gravity field. Wild Turtle flashes away from Piri, and Brandini is not stopping. The split push Trundle.
Oh, he's
going
right.
1v5. Gets a double kill. Piri kites it back. Right over. Oh, survives.
So Brandini started his teleport, but half his team was dead by the time it finished. So a little bit late there for P1 as far as the coordination. And that is something that they have had trouble with before, coordinating the teleports with the top laner, especially with the new longer channel. It's definitely something that is a reoccurring problem for them. They're going to want to clean this. But look at this. They're fighting. They're forcing this dragon. And now the teleport starts channeling. Inora is already dead before he even shows up down there. They're chasing down the rest of the team. The dragon's already dead. Gate's going to get popped here really quick. And now he's trailing into the T5. I actually thought he was going to pull off, but they salvaged a little bit of the situation as he goes for Adrian first. Turtle gets hit with the Q as well from Pyrian to add a little bit of damage, and Brandini's going to finish him off. So they salvaged a couple of kills, but it could have gone quite a bit better for them, I believe.
Yeah. I think the most telling thing was watching Immortals move as a unit. Rainover, Huni, and Adrian all acted at the exact same time, splitting Phoenix 1 up, where the surprise factor couldn't really take effect. Phoenix 1 just didn't quite have the opportunity to respond, so Immortals still demonstrating they've got the patience, they've got the technical skill to be able to play this out, but with that first Drake for themselves, that's going to help out quite a bit. The next one will be Infernal, as the Rylai's has been finished now for Inori. Finally, he can chase some people down.
Yeah, he's got his Rylai's. Mash is about to complete Blade of the Ruin King, so he'll have that 2-item power spike for Kalista. And that would be where, Phoenix 1 have to make their move, because if they give Immortals much more time than that, it's gonna get worse and worse for them as it goes on. But, what they want to do is be able to force the fight and then keep Immortals in the 5-on-5 with the Trundle Pillar spam, the Kalista Rens, and the Taric stuns. If they can keep them in the 5-on-5 when Taric ult does go off, then should be able to, get that first kill, get the ghost, and start snowballing.
Yeah, Brandini split pushing on the far side. Again, trying to pull the attention of Immortals apart. You saw Rainover heading over before coming back to the mid lane. He's not going to fall for that just yet, so that means that Brandini can continue to shove. Still down about 30 CS, but he's 3-0-2. Definitely keeping pace.
Yeah, and he is going for the Ravenous split push build there. Early Spirit Visage is the way to go versus that double AP team. See if Phoenix 1 can correct after that last little hiccup over Dragon number 3. Where they gave over the extra ocean. The extra ocean, not that big a deal, but they would love to be stacking these Drakes because having that extra pressure as you get towards the late game does help out a lot. Right now, a bunch of their vision has been transferred over to the Baron side of the map, though, as you can see all 4 of those pink wards. So they're going to try and set something up over there. Hope that Immortals will come and funnel into this P1 comp because they don't have a lot of utility, and if Turtle pops that Sivir ult, it's going to be pretty hard to lock down Immortals.
Ooh. And that's where you see how squishy that Mordekaiser is. Really need a team in front of him.
Yeah, it doesn't have any armor right now. Just the Merc Treads is only defensive and then a bit of health. So even though it's early for Wild Turtle and he's down on CS, Baron plus Boomerang still hurts.
Yeah. Now we can see Phoenix 1 continuing to play around that side of the map. 2 minutes for that Drake, but Phoenix 1 might get flanked here. Rainover over the wall, decides not to go in as he's spotted by a ward in that tri-bush. And there goes Inori. He's also going to be spotted out by a ward in the river. So Immortals know that this is happening.
Let's see what they do. Everybody's
Rainover's baiting. They know they're in there. There goes the stun against Rainover. He gets a lot of damage. There's a huge crescendo. Rainover gets chased down and killed. And Brandini even teleports in as well. Wait, that's the jungler. And Huni actually follows up for flashing away.
Rainover took that bait, hook, line, and sinker. Surprise bush with the Taric Mordekaiser, locks him down. Now they've got the Horse Ghost.
Oh my god.
Gonna try and take down this turret afterwards. Get him, Rainover!
Yeah, continues to
Team
chase
kill!
forward. It's 6 versus 4 right now as Phoenix One are trying to break down this tier 2. And they will
fire
get it.
on.
Yeah. Clearing out the vision of Immortals now. Still 7 seconds before Rainover respawns as Phoenix One set up the bait and Immortals take it.
It's exactly what we were talking about, though. That's how you have to set it up when you're with Mordekaiser. You kind of need Immortals to charge into you. Oh, Gate, actually, speaking of being in the wrong area.
It's a Chaos Storm. He actually flashes. Mash still has the ult. No, he doesn't actually. Pobelter locks it down.
Now that is the incorrect way to bait. Here we go, though. Convergence on mid lane, as P1 should be able to defend it.
Yeah,
and they do see Wild Turtle off on the side, but still pretty risky here.
Yeah, that Infernal Drake is up in 12 seconds, but so too is Gate. He's going to have to haul all the way back. Pobelter eats some slows. Brandini, so fast. Can't quite catch up, though, as Immortals trying to fall back towards that river. They know that that's the objective, but Phoenix One feigned towards the Baron.
A lot of pings over towards that Baron, and Immortals kind of have to respect it because there's a pink ward on the actual Baron pit. Pink ward's leading up to it as well. Once again, P1 are trying that strategy where they force you to come into Mordekaiser. Oh, pings down on the Baron because Mash is on the Drake.
There's no vision for Phoenix One, however, so this is going to be taken. The wave gets cleared out. Phoenix One grouped as 5 in the mid lane. Infernal Drake picked up. Immortals bring it right back to even in those neutral objectives.
Farming up for later as well. Wild Turtle now on 2 items Sivir. Infinity Edge comes in, and that's when the team fight of Immortals gets extremely scary.
This is starting to become a pretty big Immortals team, and now that they're no longer falling for these baits, it's becoming more and more difficult for Phoenix One to take advantages. They're looking for wards around the map, looking to clear out the vision of Immortals, but the pressure is on. Brandini, no teleport for a little while, means he's going to be split pushing on the opposite side. Huni will have to catch him as Phoenix One try to keep clearing out this vision and defend their mid tier 1 turret.
Yeah, Brandini doesn't have teleport either, so this is he's gonna be over there split pushing by himself for a while as Phoenix One are trying to split the map here. Thing is here for Immortals, Turtle can go clear waves so quickly. You can see he's shoving out topside just as fast right now with the Sivir, and that's gonna be a big wave on top for Immortals. So with Huni catching bottom, they might actually be the ones trying to keep Phoenix One out in the open.
Pillar slow onto Huni, and a snare prevents Brandini from catching up. Ooh, gets a good jump, but he's taking a lot of damage here as Huni gets the better of this one. X-Tech Gunblade slows him down. Brandini slowly being whittled down.
Yeah, not a big deal though for Ravenous Trundle. That's the benefits of getting the early Spirit Visage plus Lifesteal, plus laying down the Frozen Domain. Heals right back up to full on a single minion wave.
Yeah, taking a look at the CS, though, as a result of this, it's actually even now in that top lane as that early game has reset in the jungle, still dead even. Pobelter has an advantage over Pyrion, but Mash is opening up an advantage over Turtle, so it's still very close in this game despite the gold difference on top of the screen.
Power play for Phoenix One on the top side of the map as well as they go down through the jungle here. Red side, they might be able to catch Adrian off guard.
Oh, Flash dodges the stun, but Inori chases the slow lands, but he doesn't quite have enough follow-up. Mash is on the wrong side of this.
Flash off of Sona is quite big, actually, though. Adrian, not only can he not reposition in the next team fight, but no exhaust and can't flash crescendo for Immortals. Pretty good flank right there as Inori and Gate took 2 separate angles with the Terra stun lining up, and Adrian had to push all the panic buttons to get out.
Immortals now trying to play defensive and not let themselves get picked off by that surprise. Wait. Mordekaiser?
Whoa.
That's
Well,
the sound I assume he makes.
Yeah, look at the vision control that Phoenix One have. That's the most impressive part to me because Immortals are teams that so rarely don't have map control since they get these early leads so often and they start fighting over and over and over. They're actually in a rare position where they have to check this fog of war, and you can see trying to put the wards down here into Baron, but Pink Ward's still standing for Phoenix One. They almost immediately clear them all out.
Yeah, such a dangerous position for Immortals if they get picked off. Brandini now with his teleport. Huni also has his own. continuing to remain occupied in that bottom lane, shoving the tier 2 over and over.
Yeah, and remember, this shove is all about setting up for the neutral objectives. We talked about it in Champion Select, where the Kalista plus Mordekaiser is so much about those neutral objective control and trying to retain this vision control so that the enemy team will walk into your Taric and into your consecutive slows of Mordekaiser and Trundle and Kalista as well. But there you go, Immortals, they make a pretty good incision right there into the vision.
Yeah.
The vision incision by Immortals right into the Baron.
Did you just make yourself laugh with that?
I'm having a weird day here, Dom.
This is not a dream. This Mordekaiser is actually happening. And Immortals are dealing with it rather well. I mean, despite the early advantage in control, they're able to retain vision. They're not face checking anymore, unless they know that they can do it as a unit. And that slowed things down quite a bit for Phoenix One. Not too much action since blowing that Sona Splash, and it's already 2/3 of the way up.
Yeah, you talk about the lack of action here. I would really, I mean, even though it's difficult for P1 because, you know, they don't really have the go button. It is all about how you control the vision around these objectives and how you get the side lanes to push up and try and force Immortals' hands. But like we said, Turtle is getting closer and closer to that infinity edge for Sivir. And here we go. It's actually Immortals setting up.
There goes the Claw as dry zoning away. Wild Turtle gets onto the turret, but the minion wave is cleared. It just takes a few hits.
Yeah, Nori actually got chunked out pretty heavily there as well. Luckily for them, though, Immortals pull back as both sideways are pushing in Phoenix One's favor. Oh, Brandini, 1 versus 2, go for the steal.
Oh, wow, that's going to be picked up by Pobelter, but Brandini has got to be careful. Huni clicks himself.
That was most definitely a misclick. Their models were right next to each other. He flashed right next to him. The flash self-ult. Unlucky there for Huni.
Phoenix One pressuring that mid-tier 1 turret, seeing the jungle of Pobelter and Huni. They get some great chip damage onto the mid-tier 1, but it's still up.
That's the nerve showing versus the Giant Killers Phoenix One. Gotta be scared, you know. Don't want to fall to them as well.
Nope. 9 and 7, and Immortals are looking to not make the same mistakes as TSM. Try to lock this down, clearing out the vision, slowly getting the minions onto the turret, but they've got to be so careful.
Yeah, look at those beautiful crits coming through from the Sivir ricochets.
Yeah.
Phoenix One, though, they move from pink ward bush to pink ward bush, trying again to set up one of these counter initiation plays. Drake should go down pretty quickly.
That's 5 members of Phoenix One in the pit. They secure it. There goes the Cosmic Radiance. It's about to land right in time. Pyrion's on this side, but that's so much invulnerability as Phoenix One resets. Gate knocks out Huni, Brandini in the front, and Ori gets onto Rainover. He's going to try to kill him. He flashes, and that's the kill. Huni also falls, and Phoenix One are chasing forward. There's a chilling smite. Wild Turtle has died, and Phoenix One are doing it. They're winning the fight against Immortals.
Talked about it for so long. They got the neutral objective setup fight. They baited Immortals in. Immortals went in at the worst possible time, right after the Drake was taken. So Dragon Ghost was hitting them the whole time. Inori then was able to ult Wild Turtle. He turned it into the Sivir Ghost, which is the most powerful of the ghosts.
Oh my God.
And now Turtle's zoning him off the Baron. That should be Baron as well.
Oh, wow. Lots of damage. That's Wild Turtle going low.
Or
but
should it?
Inori has no smite.
Pobelter could get the magical steal here with Victor if he can get a combo.
They're trying to stall it out. Brandini zoning on the side. Drops his Subjugate to scare Pobelter back, but the Baron is being cleaned up by Gate and Inori.
Great zoning right there. That is the biggest problem that we see from teams as you get to this stage, is they won't send people to go zone. Even if there's only a couple people on the enemy team, the possibility of stealing is very low. You gotta have people, you know, go interfere, because that is a heartbreaker if it gets stolen. Anyways, there it is. Rainover got in just after the Drake was killed, so the Dragon Ghost is up. Even though it gets killed pretty quickly here, Inori is going to get his ult on Wild Turtle right after this. There it is on Turtle, and he's right next to him, next to the pillar. Slows him down with the smite. Boop, there we go.
Oh my God.
Okay, so the Ghost actually didn't do a whole lot in the fight, but was able to throw him off the Baron for a little bit here. I have to say, Phoenix One coming out of the gate swinging, and nobody knows what's going on. They're like, all right, let's refocus here. We'll get an update on what the problem is. But man, what a way to end the day here.
Yeah.
On Saturday night.
To start this series, Phoenix One, this is their last set in the summer split. And because they are locked into that promotion tournament, what better way than to go out with, I don't want to say a bang. This is like an explosion.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the most exciting team right now. Everybody loves underdog stories, right?
Yeah.
So they lost the first, 9 series.
Yeah.
They are the underdogs of the North American LCS here, and such a strong resurgence in the second half of the split is just always fun. Everybody loves to get behind, bad news bears stories like that. And they're doing it in such a fashionable way with the Rengar picks, the legendary 13-0 Hecarim games, and the Mordekaiser jungle as well. It's just,
It is fantastic.
Great stuff from
So,
these guys mixing it up.
quick update on the pause. Immortals are having some frame rate issues, so we're taking a look at that to see if we can get it fixed as quickly as possible.
The classic.
Yeah.
We're losing to Mordekaiser jungle. Lag.
Slash remake is only for the first 3 minutes, guys. But, we'll see if we can get this resolved as quickly as possible. Maybe it was like, the Sivir shouldn't be attacking me. That's not normal. I didn't know Friendly Fire was in League.
Yeah, we need to take a look at this game, though, because it's actually going according to plan here for Phoenix One. Even though they had a bumpy, around the 20-minute mark, they started to lose a bit of control back to Immortals as Immortals were making some power plays. They've retaken control in a very big way here with this last bait around Dragon, where they got the Drake. They also got the team fight afterwards, and then we're able to get the Baron. That's a feels good, man. My face win. First person to pick Kalista in a long time. Plus, we're winning in Mordekaiser jungle.
Yeah, this is the second Kalista in the NALCS this split.
Yeah. Remember, though, because Immortals are running a team, they have Victor and Sivir. So much wave cleared. On top of that, they also have Lissandra, who doesn't have terrible wave cleared in the side lane either. So there are a lot of options for stalling for Immortals here. While everyone's getting hyped up, this underdog story, Phoenix One, you want to see them also beat the other top team in North America. Immortals very much still in this game, and they can try and huddle down at their turrets and try and wave clear. The breaker is going to come from those Drake ghosts, right? The Mordekaiser ghosts. You can't wave clear that thing. It's got like 3,000 health at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
And that can be what they try to, continue the siege with. Right now they can rely on the Baron buff, but they do have other options to try and push in.
Controlling those neutral objectives has been how Phoenix One have really sort of shown that growth as a team over the course of this split. And now they've got that Baron buff. Next Drake will be an Elder Dragon. Have you ever seen an Elder Dragon siege a turret?
I have not. I'm not sure if the ghost for the Elder Dragon is actually different because I haven't seen anyone play Mordekaiser since the Drake reworks. But I'm very curious. I'm excited. I hope we get to find an answer to that question today.
Hopefully we'll find out. But as we can see, Immortal still trying to fix out this problem. And Phoenix One taking a nice deep breath. And we've got to respect sort of the tactical worth of a pause like this, being able to slow the roll. Like, okay, hold on. You've got the Mordekaiser. You've got the Baron right now.
I mean,
of course, this is not a tactical pause. This is a technical pause. But you've got to take a look at the mindset when something like this happens.
Yeah, I mean, they're not allowed to talk or anything, so it's not really much is changing here. Maybe your heart rate slows back down, or I guess you get less caught up in the action, trying to think through your own plans, but
the adrenaline burns off.
Yeah, I think the plan here for Immortals is pretty clear, as they're going to try and stabilize right now. Their outer turret that's still staying in mid lane is definitely going to be forfeit. That thing has only got like 50 HP, so they just have to play a little safe, try and stall it out for a while, wait out that Baron buff, and see if they can hold on till that late game, because they do have a lot of late game power in a team fight if they are able to hold on for...
As long as they avoid the big bop, then they'll be fine. And with a lot of crowd control from that Victor, CC from Lissandra, even a crescendo to slow people down, might be a way to kill Inori before he can get to that backline. But Brandini has also been stepping up quite a bit. He really suffered during the laning phase, and in Game 1 and Game 2, it was the exact same thing yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's so rough, right? The range melee matchup like that, especially when it is a control mage who's going to try and punish you. on the side. But yeah, as we said, once you get the cowl and then you build into your spirit vision, so much sustain on the Trundle, and he has done a good job coming back in that split push.
Okay,
So there's no talking, but there is Rochambeau allowed. Who will be the champion?
And Brandini's up.
Were you keeping track? I forgot. I didn't see the
Oh,
first
no, there
one.
we go.
I think Inori won the first one.
Oh, Zig comes it back. There it is.
It's
tied
best
up.
of 5, I assume. I guess that's 2 for him.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
things get
a
spicy. You guys waiting
tragic
for the
face.
turn
There he goes
here.
again.
That's it. You end on a stalemate,
Inori's
2
kinda-
rock?
Ah, well.
Come on.
Bit of friendly rivalry. Nothing better to...
Right? It's the personality of this team as well. It's not just the flavor of the picks in game. Like, Gate has been on this team from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And every time we interview him, he's just this big, bubbly, smiley guy who's always like, yeah, man, we're 0-8. It's no problem, though. Everybody's underestimating us. It'll be all good. We're great. We're going to come back into this. And look at that. He always has, faith. He's such an optimistic guy. There's so many, strong personalities on this team. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of uplifting to see them take games off of TSM and possibly Immortals here.
Well, we've got a few more minutes of pause coming up, so we're going to go ahead and toss over for some bonus coverage of Cloud9 versus Echo.
And at this point, standing way too close to things, they just can completely take him down.
Yeah, both so squishy, and it's this Gangplank just being so far behind. I mean, he would have been like maybe one more level, but it's still being blown up. Squishy build. Not able to actually put pressure on this Ezreal from Sneaky that's 3 levels up himself and has been getting a lot of that sideways farm. Talking about they put him in a side wave every time.
Always. There were pings on the side wave when they were actually taking that top inhibitor. It was crazy. Cloud9 knows what they need to do next. The curtain call comes down. Keith trying to stand his ground in the backside, and the inhibitor turret onto Impact. The best person here for Cloud9. Everybody's taking the journey, and the tether doesn't even lock. Meteo's down. Could Smoothie be the first to fall? They still make it out alive, and Hard is going to go just that for Jensen. He gets on. Jensen throws down the miasma slow, and nobody can get to him. They turn around to try and fight this as Meteos goes back in as well, and they can't decide if they want to stop the fight or not, and Fox is in the same position.
Froggen really bold right now. Impact still doesn't take too much damage from him, but he'll get enough rotations off with the Rylai's. Gets him over the wall with the Shadow Dash.
Ridiculous. If it would have been him for the first guy to go down, that would have been even crazier. But here's this already. Cutlass at the end as well.
Of course, we just saw Cloud9 looking very good.
Yeah, I was just checking in. I'm pretty sure they've got everything cleaned up here. Just getting our last ready checks for this game, and we can jump back in.
And again, to restate this, Phoenix One just took the Baron against Immortals in game number 1 with that jungle Mordekaiser, 80 carry Kalista, and we've gotten back in.
Right. What led up to this Baron, by the way, so P1, they had been trying to control both neutral objectives, the Baron and the Drake, pretty much the entire river, for the majority of the mid game, trying to bait over and over Immortals into a fight there where they were able to use the counter initiation. They finally got it at the Drake, the last Ocean Drake that we saw down there, and Phoenix One, having cleaned up that team fight afterwards, then transition into this Baron, are now trying to siege and convert it into gold.
Despite there being barely 200 health on that turret, 5 members of Immortals are grouped up to defend it, 252. But Brandini is split pushing in another lane, and with teleport, Immortals have to give it up, as you said. Meanwhile, though, they continue to pressure forward with another minion wave. Brandini is going to get another tier 2 before Huni can respond. That's 2 turrets with that Baron, and it's still got about 3 minutes left.
Baron buff should be able to help them crack through here. Immortals, as we said, though, they have so much wave clear.
Oh, wow, Brandini. Really starting to put some harass onto Huni right now.
Yeah, what he should do is clear that wave, then move over and just throw a pillar here to zone Immortals off. Guess the pillar is not even necessary, as they are able to take out the last.
Oh, boy.
You're going to shave off that newest millimeter of hair that Jeff grew in the last week?
It's only been a week, man. How many haircuts can you take?
Also, don't be fooled. If you walk up to Dyrus and try and shave his head as some random person, Dyrus, while he's a very calm person and he looks a little sleepy,
He's a big dude.
don't mess with Dyrus.
Alrighty, now Phoenix One setting up the siege, 4-1 split. That's Huni with the rest of his team. 5 members of Immortals there, and Phoenix One trying to play it back, not to let themselves get caught. Brandini's working on the bottom inhibitor turret. Brings it down to half. Continuing to clear out this vision. Phoenix One still with the Baron buff, bringing those minions back in again. There's a good spell shield from Wild Turtle, but that turret is already chunked down to half, down to a quarter. And Phoenix One, they've still got so much time. They are using this Baron buff so effectively.
Yeah, and they're making very quick work of actually both side lane turrets. Brandini still keeping up the pressure down there. Huni's actually rotated over. Maybe Immortals are going to pull the trigger here. Let's see, they have everything ready. Adrian's got the flash ready for Crescendo, and Huni has flash as well with Lissandra.
Oh, they've got Nori on the side. Cosmic Radiance, but he's on Onius to stall it out. There's the Cosmic Radiance afterwards. He's got Invuln and will stall it out despite the stun. There's the Chaos Storm. They're doing everything they can to kill it, Nori.
They're trying to buy time here. Phoenix One are just trying to survive in the 4vs5. Brandini's got the turret. He's getting the inhibitor. Now they go for the re-engage on the... This is going to be 2 inhibitors for Phoenix One.
What? One inhibitor's gone down. The second one will fall. And Immortals are falling further and further behind. It's 11,000 gold for Phoenix One.
And the whole map is Phoenix One territory right now. All of the wards are timing out as we speak for Immortals. They have 2 inhibitors down on the side lanes. The time is running out for them. They have to make one of those hero stands inside their own base to survive this game.
Oh man, the fan count is shifting. 75% of folks now think that Phoenix One will be victorious here.
Elder Dragon goes to end it, please. 50 seconds left on that thing, and we will see Phoenix One head over to it. All they have to do is set up, again, those pink wards. They've got 2 extra in inventory. One's already down there by the dragon. If they set up the other 2, then it's going to be a very risky maneuver from Immortals if they want to come contested. The side lanes will be pushing in. There's not a lot of time for Immortals, so they have to make a very quick decision and try to force something into this counter-initiation built team from Phoenix One that have the Taric ultimate to stall out. There's so many invulnerabilities here on Phoenix One, and it's going to take so long to kill them that if you stay outside your base for that long, the minions will do the work for Phoenix One.
6 seconds left on that Elder Drake. Phoenix One, after having themselves a brief dance in the mid lane, rush down, trying to catch someone. Ori looks for Adrian. There's a flash crescendo, a huge bomb. Cosmic Radiance. Will he survive? He will, and they continue to chase forward. They don't even need the dragon. 3 members of Immortals are dead.
What do we say about that style here for Phoenix One? It's definitely here in spades, and they're going to head into the base to end it here. 3 members down for Immortals. This would be a miracle stand if Pobelter could get back. Holy moly. Game number 1 here for Phoenix One.
They are rushing forward. Huni gets into the back line and destroyed by Match. 16-8. Gate will stall out Pobelter with a stun on top of it. The Nexus falls, and Phoenix One, the Giant Killers, take game 1. Huge smiles from Phoenix One after that match. Oh, wow. Very well-deserved victory. And a very stoic face on Reignover.
Like, this is some fairy tale stuff, Dom. Nori, Phoenix One, they're actually insane. They're just picking Rengar, killing people. They take down TSM, #1 team in the whole league. Nobody else has beat them. Then they come out with Mordekaiser Jungle versus Immortals.
Exactly.
Surprised them with constant lane swapping back and forth. They had the first blood where Adrian face checked the bush. That was all planned. You know, great strategy there. And from there, they were able to snowball with so many of these Drakes. And finally bait Immortals into that last one. That was the crucial fight with led to Baron and broke the whole thing wide open.
Phoenix One looking so strong, but the Phoenix One magic is back. 38 minutes will do it for game number 1. But we're going to pass it over to the analysts to break that game down.
Thank you very much, gents. And, well, okay. I don't know
I
what
thought
to
I was
think
a League of
anymore.
Legends expert, but apparently I do not know.
This is the thing. There's plenty to break down here as Phoenix 1 strikes again, taking down our #2 team in Immortals in Game 1 of the series, and they do it in just absurd fashion.
The expert was Bonquish right here, the coach, because I really like the draft, to be honest, especially when you see something like the Sivir Hecarim come out. Go ahead with the Kalista. Kalista has a great time into Sivir and into Hecarim. Hecarim obviously just has like a one-time go button.
Yeah.
Kalista just kites back easily with the lifesteal and then the Taric. And I mean,
Let's back it up, though, and talk about this, because when the Karma was locked in first, both of you initially...
no, I didn't say anything. I was
no,
not here.
no,
I was in the bathroom.
I will say
I
I was definitely a little vocal about the fact that
I was
I
in the
didn't like Karma first pick with the Sivir up. I know there's Ashe and other things, but it is a little bit of a crutch for P1 to use it, and I thought they were giving up a lot. But once you see the Kalista, you realize it was a very intentional thing where they
Yes.
give up the Karma because they want its protective and speeding abilities for the Mordekaiser that will
Right.
eventually come in, as well as the fact that the Kalista is a counter pick. It's all very calculated. It was an extremely intelligent, baity draft that I definitely
Yes.
fell for as well. So.
Yeah, so that is the genius of the draft that Bonquish was able to put together here for Phoenix 1. Now, if we actually get into the game itself, we saw that cheesy first blood come out, which of course is very helpful in it, but a lot of attention going to the bot lane early in the game, out of Inori on the Mordekaiser. What are you doing over there, just giggling?
Yeah, I love the Mordekaiser, dude.
I'm trying to have a conversation
well,
with
you can't have a Bonquish without some cheese, of course.
Oh my goodness.
All right, well, to be serious for a second.
I would love
Immortals
that if you guys could just pull it together for a moment.
Okay.
Mark,
The
enlighten me.
Mordekaiser actually, to be honest, wasn't super impactful in the early game.
Okay.
There were a number of ganks where you're like, any jungler would have done that the same or better, especially like the one where the Sona lives with 100 HP. But the bigger thing was the fact that Immortals was in standard lanes when so much of this draft was about getting standard lanes.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the dragon, the effective Mordekaiser just came into fruition with the dragon.
Right.
A couple of the fights, just dragon enabling so much. The 6th man being able to just have a dragon on your team. So.
Well, and even in the cases where it's not a dragon and instead you have Reignover on your team, right?
Or
now
the zoning wild turtle.
Exactly.
That was.
So it was very clear too that Immortals didn't necessarily know how to play around the pick, right? On top of it, having its own kind of small advantages in the team, you have to consider the fact that the opposing team doesn't know how to play against it in a 5v5 setup. How do we operate around global objectives now when a Mordekaiser can secure the objective and also use it against us?
Well, I did think they figured it out in one of the dragon fights where they actually just said, let's just kill Mordekaiser instead. And they put everything onto him, and they're actually winning that fight, but they got hit with a Dini, and we'll see that later. But they figured it out. They just didn't do it all the time.
All right, very much so. Well, as we're speaking about this series here, we've got our viewers from C9 versus Fox on NALCS2 joining us. C9 did take down Fox in about a 43-minute game, so it took them a little bit. We're currently breaking down Phoenix 1's victory over Immortals with the Mordekaiser jungle, the Kalista ADC paired with the Taric. We purposely saved all of our replays till you got here as an audience because we want you to kind of walk through it with us. So now that we've got everybody here, let's get right into it. 5:45, Phoenix 1, a 3-for-1, plus the Infernal Drake here in the bot lane.
So this is kind of what I was saying, where like any jungler could have done this. The fact of the matter is that Adrian's in a terrible spot. He's sandwiched, no summoners, goes down for free right at the start of the fight. The TPs come in, and it's a bit of a chase down here, where eventually Max just kind of gets sold off to the side by the Victor. But once Brandini's going to join this fight, it's going to end up being a 3-for-1 in favor of P1, and this is kind of what I was saying, where I was surprised that they just took these standard lanes. Here you do see a bit of the power of the Mordekaiser being able to bait in and get that heal from his W and kind of surprise Huni with that. I doubt he was ready for that.
Well, and that's where I think both Taric with Mordekaiser, right? There's so many spells you have to play around
extra
now.
Tankiness, extra healing.
Yeah, defensively, if I'm Immortals, right, in terms of how I'm actually layering or throwing my DPS out there, you run the risk of throwing all your burst into an invulnerable set of champions, right, and losing the fight based on that.
It's so cool to see. I love when teams build compositions that have a lot of synergy between each other, so the champions just all help each other out. You have the Karma shields for extra shields on Mordekaiser with the resistances from the build of the Merctrez with Abyssal and Zanya's armor. It's so awesome to see the synergy.
All right, well, next up, 12:50 into the game, Phoenix 1 are going to get the Dragon, plus the bot lane turret dive with a 2-for-0, using the Dragon here in this replay.
So this is going to be a fight where they initiate with the Taric ultimate, and Taric with a stun right on, follow it up. It basically nullifies Sona's ultimate, and they're just going to transition this into a tower dive. They see Sivir on the minimap, all eyes on her, and Wild Turtle's not going to have an easy time getting out of this one.
This is not where I want to be.
6-man turret dive somehow with the Dragon coming in. IMT tries to back him up a little bit, but it's honestly fruitless. The fact that Rainover goes in there, he's clearly going to die. It's 3v5. It was not worth it. 3v6. Yeah, whatever you want. However you want to break those numbers down.
It was a lot of people in an area.
Versus not very many.
Okay, 31 minutes into the game, 3 for 1 for Phoenix 1. Another Drake plus a Baron. Just absolutely insane amounts of gold popping into their
This is
pockets.
when they actually.
Oh, no, it's not the right.
This is after they tried it again. So they popped Inori right away in the beginning of a fight. This time, Gate drops his ult as soon as he sees the engage coming in, so that way they don't really have an option as Immortals to focus anybody. They just have to chill and wait. And while that's going on, P1's able to force themselves out of the Dragon Pit so they're not all bottled in and then get a favorable fight.
Yep, just an easy chase out here. Trundle Pillars for slows. Gonna pick up one final kill, I believe. No, they
go straight to the
Yeah,
Baron.
that's where they use the
Yeah.
Sivert to zone.
You're right. Okay. Well, yeah, so either way, picking up the Baron there, it does take them a little bit longer to finish out the game. They get it. We see here on the gold graph, control for the entire game, at least, from a gold perspective. So for them, fantastic victory. I guess the question now is adjustments made into game 2, because obviously we don't expect Immortals to allow them to have the exact same composition. And then even if they did, some adjustments in terms of how they play against.
Well, I think one thing for Immortals is that we've been seeing them trying to expand their champion pool, particularly Adrian, and he just does not look too comfortable on a lot of these new picks. He's obviously really good on the Karmas, Sorakas. Maybe we should just stick to those a little bit while maintaining the other aspects of the team comp that can make a whole lot of sense, as opposed to just putting everybody on something unique and new.
I think it's hard as P1 to really, or as Immortals to know what to ban versus P1, because they have apparently so many pocket picks. They have the Twitch, these other, like the Rengar and stuff. But I think a big thing would be get out of standard lanes. They seem to be struggling a lot with just bot lanes in general.
That's true. Just yesterday against TSM, their bot lane got crushed.
I mean, this was more of a pick problem than it was like a play, but at the same time, just opt out of that situation. You think you're a better team, prove it in the macro game.
All right, well, player of the game is going to Gate 0, 2, and 13 on the Taric. This is kind of to your point about how you don't necessarily think that Mordekaiser was the linchpin or the huge problem here for Immortals.
Taric.
It was more the Taric. I mean, the Taric does enable the Mordekaiser in ways, as well as provide a lot of safety to the likes of his carries. But yeah, I mean, Taric was kind of the linchpin of this composition.
If we remember how strong Kindred was before with her ultimate, Taric is basically Kindred on crack, because this is so powerful. Like, you just make your entire team invulnerable, and you have no chance of retaliating through that entire time. So you just got to find a way to disengage and then re-engage, especially against a heavy burst comp like Victor and Lissandra. The Taric ultimate from Gate was just exceptional.
Pair with the Callista, now you are able to throw yourself in there with your ult and a stun coming out, and you're just so disruptive in a team fight.
I mean, I really do love the champion select that Bonquiche put together, because you've got that right on top of the Taric ultimate. You have the Karma shields that are going out across the team. You're probably going to get 3 or 4 of those out within a fight, Mantra, and then you've got Trundle for chase down as well as the speed, kiting back as well as chasing forward.
Well, we can't give all the credit to Bonquiche. Obviously, all the players have the ability to play all these champions and just come out and say, hey, Bonquiche, can you give me the Mordekaiser for this one?
Right.
Like, well, you have to trust them, be like, yeah, dude,
you're like, yeah, dude, let's take Mord into Immortals.
All right, so plenty of discussion around Phoenix 1 taking the first game against Immortals here on NALCS 1. For those of you on NALCS 1, we're going to be sending you to a commercial break, so stay with us for the next game between Phoenix 1 and Immortals. Of course, on the other side of things, stay right here, because we're going to break down C9 versus Echo Fox. Now, gentlemen, as we talk about this C9 victory over Echo Fox, once again.
Sajima. It's what Huni sings when Rainover tries to gank.
Adrian, no! Adrian, why? 1 bonk, 2 bonk, 3 bonk, 4! First blood, Phoenix 1. Oh, it's doing a lot of damage, and Wild Turtle goes down. Who's tanking? I am. Fucking Jenkins, thank you. There's a chilling smite. Wild Turtle has died, and Phoenix 1 are doing it. They're winning the fight against Immortals.
I talked about it for so long. They got the neutral objective set up fight.
I'm looking.
Sona flash.
End the game.
End the game, baby. Let's go. And Phoenix 1, the Giant Killers, take game